right. All right. So now this is the channel One Mic So Focus. You know what I mean? We got two special guests today. We got King Shimshon. You know what I'm saying? What up? Salute.
Shalom, King.
Shalom. Also, we got King Ezra in the building. He's our previous guest. All my folks on YouTube. What up? What up? What up?
What's up?
Yeah, man, we got some good shit for y'all today, man. We're gonna talk about different shit dealing with businesses, the court system, dealing with relationships and shit like that of everybody of all stacks, all walks of life, man. We about to get this shit popping on today. First, let's begin with King Shimshon, and then we're gonna get with King Ezra in a minute. He already been on our show. You already know what time it is. King Shimshon, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. We got another business owner. We got
my pleasure as well, King.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. We appreciate having you here, man. We know you got businesses overseas. We know you got just businesses, period. And everybody wants to know, you know, like what form of trading and everything that you do, bro. We want to know.
Well, I basically deal with invention, technology, design, innovative design, green technology. As far as trading and everything, you know, I got my own coin now through MintMe, thanks to the process and the steps introduced to that field right there. So I got that going on right now. You know, just a lot of things that is going to better and benefit humanity is what I have in process right now, as far as dealing with businesses and different business ventures right now.
That's definitely what's up, man. I understand that the coin industry, as far as that Bitcoin and other coin industries, man, they making a lot of investments. I know I have one myself. I know King Ezra, he quiet right now. He know he making money. King Shimshon, man, I know you making money off top, even though you don't like to talk about the money and shit. I know you don't like to talk about the money on everything that's going on right now, but I know you making money. You making a couple of good investments, man. What's your best advice for people out there with the coin and different businesses and trading like that? Especially there's internationally, and there's just basically, like, you know, within the United States. I'm talking about this shit's global. Like, from what I heard, the money that's out there is global and nobody knows about it.
Right. Okay, well, the first thing I would let anybody who's entering in business know is to do your due diligence and research on the field that you are operating in. There's no other power other than knowledge that you can obtain going into business that you will obtain to understand, overstand, and understand the things in the technology is going to take to propel you through the avenues and mediums that you're moving through in business. Is doing in the field that you are going to be in and operating, because without the knowledge of that, you're basically going to get into business to spin your wheels and fail and sit right there where you started at.
Shit, man, absolutely. I noticed once before I didn't have a business, but then once I noticed that between traveling internationally, and I know you travel internationally, you meet with different business executives. King Ezra, he's starting on his own funding, and it ain't a GoFundMe. He's got his own funding in his own business. Shimshon, I looked you up, and then I received your call, and I received a lot of notices from you, and a lot of people are talking real big about the technology and shit that you're inventing, as well as the coin, to make investments and help the world out, as far as helping world hunger, investing in different technology that can help people walk again. What else? Different trading aspects on a lot of things. A lot of people don't understand, overstand the fact that you could have your own business, but if you ain't making the right investments, it's not going to fall through. I mean, did it take you time to learn about that, or did you just more or less walk through it and see what it was like? Like, how did it affect you, man?
All of the above. It took time. Everything takes time. It took me being around the right people, like-minded people, people that have ambition and drive to achieve goals that most will say is unobtainable. It took a lot of trial and error. It took a lot of faith. It took a lot of patience. You know, it took all of those attributes to get to where I am today.
Right.
Now, as far as making the right investments, each investment you're going to make is going to be a risk unless you actually did the research and know what you're investing in.
Right.
Things that you're investing in is investing in is exactly that. It's an investment.
Right.
It's a medium to propel you forward. And with the proper research done, you're going to make that investment to be profitable and lucrative.
Right.
A lot of business investments I've made has been one with myself, investing in myself of the time, patience, education, knowledge, wisdom, understanding to achieve the things that I've achieved as far as investment goes. And when I'm investing in yourself is investing in yourself as far as the knowledge is going to take to help you operate in the mediums that you're operating in. Investing in yourself as far as monetary wise, and that's one of the main things is investing in your self monetary wise to have the devices that you're going to need to operate. Making the investments in yourself to have the bank accounts you're going to need to house the investments and handle the having investors that's going to help you invest in yourself while you're investing and sharing your investments with them. You know, that's what I mean by having like-minded people around you, because a lot of the investments that you're going to make in your lifetime in any business is going to be with someone who's like-minded. Because you can't somebody who doesn't have the same mind frame that you have. That's almost a dead investment before it began.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And I noticed when I started making certain investments, the money at first didn't the investors and the investments didn't pull as much as I would thought they would. But what I've noticed is that when I've invested in certain things, that as long as I kept that medium and I held on to that for a while everyone else's dropped, I noticed that your investment in the market skyrocketed. And I said, damn, I got to get in contact with this guy. I don't know who he is, but I got to get in contact with him. So the main thing is a lot of investments within the United States. A majority of the time you can invest within the United States, but there's so many caps on that. But the main way to invest is to invest on the foreign side. If you can invest foreign and invest within the United States, you have a little bit of both. Both sides are not really going to drop, but the United States is gonna create a sort of a cap. But when you have a lot of foreign investments, I noticed that the sky's the limit, because you're not dealing with as much, but you're dealing with more on that plane where a multitude of people want to know who you are with your investments. And that's with helping out different parts of the world. And I noticed when your investment shot up like that, I was like, God damn, I got to talk to this guy.
Yeah. When it comes to investing, dealing with Western technology, as far as Americanized thinking, Westernized thinking, a lot of people think that it takes a lot of money, a lot of revenue, currency, fiat to invest in things. But the parable that I learned in investing is you can take a drip of water, which is a small amount of anything, and over time, while you're dripping that one drop in that bucket, over time, that bucket fills up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't take a lot of fiat. It doesn't take a lot of currency, revenue, or anything that you may think of to make an investment internationally in anybody's company. One thing, it does take tenure, meaning time on the job learning and everything else that you're going to learn about these people, companies, and them learning about your own company.
Yeah.
Making your investments and planning for those investments to mature, you want to be able to make an investment, and not always a big investment, but the right investment with these different companies that's going to grow over time. So doing your research on certain companies as far as take the gold and silver market. You know, the gold, most of the gold comes from our motherland over there in Africa, what they would call our motherland. You know what I'm saying? So when you gold and silver market, and you know where all of the material is coming from, it doesn't take a lot to invest in that. It just takes the right investment as far as monetary wise to invest in it. But you also have to leave your investment and leave it there without touching. Most times the market go up, you want to get your money out the market, and then the market go up further from there, and you wish you should have left it in there. Most of the investments that you're going to make is a gamble, and it does take a risk, but it also takes faith and knowledge of the market that you're getting in when you're making any investment in anybody's company. God
damn. Well, that's well said. Ladies, fellas, even though this man does not look rich, this dude, he's got it. He's got it. He could just basically make a call. Boom. I want that Lambo. Boom. I want that house. Stop playing. Put another 20 grand on it. He's got the investments. He's got the not just the paper backing him. He's got investors backing with him. He asks for something, they give it to him. Just like that. Just because he knows his shit.
I can tell you this, King. I can tell you this. All the material things that a lot of people seek after, carnally, if you want to put it like that, all the carnal things that people seek after doesn't have a return. I believe I was placed in the position that I am in to not only prove to my brethren that things are obtainable. You know what I'm saying? Material things are obtainable, but to help humanity in such a form, in a way that I'm trying to do and attempting to do and is doing, there is nothing material that will satisfy me. So a Lamborghini outside my house right now is fine. I would like to own my city block. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Then be beyond the Lambo. I like that idea.
Yeah.
You know, a Lambo in my driveway, that looks good. But to own 15 driveways, I would like the Lambo sitting in 15 driveways. And they are not my Lambos. They are my neighbor's Lambos. They are my community Lamborghinis. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
To any gold chain or anything material. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I would like to have that. I come from the 90s. I'm a 70s baby. You see what I'm saying? I grew up in the 80s. You see what I'm saying? I do music. I do indulge in that lifestyle. But that lifestyle also taught me that everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that glitters is not gold. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So why not, with that kind of money and power and prestige that you have, why not invest in that will bring you a return that will get you an unlimited amount of Lamborghinis?
Absolutely. Like that's my whole main reason for bringing this platform, to show everybody there are a lot of successful people out there, but you just got to know where to look. And most of all, a lot of times, a lot of successful people don't want to be reached because from my understanding, you got people trying to contact you, people that's begging you to invest in your corporate stock because your corporate stock is raising. King Ezra's, his is up there too, because not a lot of people know about him. He stays underneath the radar. Everybody's staying underneath the radar because these are some crazy times. Now, on the next situation, because I had King Ezra on our previous show, what's your ideas on relationships since you're a multi-millionaire? Like, I know you got to be hiding from the ladies. See, Ezra, he's smiling. He know what it is when he walk up in the club or in the bar or something like that. To be seeing a whole bunch of chicks just be hawking for dudes, man. What's up? What's up with that? What's going on?
My take on the relationships is this. I'm recently divorced. So me and my take on relationships, there's a very big caution and a beacon there with me in relationships right now. And that is because of my status, because of my potential. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's things that I cannot trust when it comes to relationships right now because of what has transpired in the last relationship that I was in. Knowing who I am and what I am plays a lot in the way people treat me. Once they find out who I am and what I am, everything changes. So I try to stay low, not a hermit, not an introvert, because I'm a very outspoken person. I mean, like I said, I do music, so I'm out there in the light all the time. Uh, as far as relationship goes, there's a barrier, a security barrier in place now, because I've let someone into my inner circle that one, betrayed me, used deceitful tactics to betray me, and it left a bad residue with me when it comes to relationships and seeking after relationships. So me knowing me and how I operate, there's a level of caution to every relationship that comes my way now.
Yeah. To my understanding, when you didn't have, hold on 1 second. Damn, I hate it when I have these meetings. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Damn, another investor, man. Another investor tried to call me up. All right, so yeah, man, check this out. All right, so it was to my understanding that when you were in that marriage, when you were in that relationship, things weren't going so well financially. And it's to my understanding that when you kept that track mind of having an abundance mindset, and she basically threatened to leave you, and you said, no, if you want to go, you can go, I'm going to invest in this, and she left. What was your first reaction when you got all of those investors backing you? What was her first reaction? Did she try to come back?
No, that wasn't the case. As I was moving forward and climbing the ladder, she knew about everything. She knew about everything. I that was my wife. I put her into the inside circle with me as far as information goes. Right. But when she decided to abandon the marriage, she was only there when the low-lying investors was wanting to invest in me. She didn't believe in me or the investment that we was investing in enough to even see it through. Damn. She, that by me making this kind of investment, it would not only help her, but it would help our offspring as well. But for her having the faith that she should have had, I believe, because she knew who I was before she married. She knew how ambitious I was before she married.
Right.
She know I do fashion. She know I did poetry. She know I did every aspect and facet of my life. She knew everything about it. What she didn't understand was my drive and my true ambition as far as how far I'm willing to go to achieve the things that I was achieving. So what her belief was led her to abandon the marriage. She didn't see all of the investments that I made coming to fruition. She didn't get to enjoy those things because she already canceled our contract. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, she made that choice.
Right, that's business. She canceled our contract. So there's no way I can let you in and do any other business with you because you canceled our contract. I mean, you don't get your phone service canceled by T-Mobile and still pay them after they canceled your service.
Facts all day. Facts. Exactly. You gotta look at it. You gotta look at it like this. Like, I've been in relationships where the shit just didn't work out. Once I saw that shit just didn't work out, I'm just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go this way. You could go your way, and that be that. I know what path I'm on, and I'm gonna stay on that path to being the best that I can be, having my investments set aside, setting the stuff aside for my offspring or whatever investments I decide to, invest in, and hold that and make sure it keeps building. That way you create that generational wealth. A lot of people want to go into these courts. We're gonna go into that topic too, how a lot of people like to administrate stuff that doesn't belong to them and put in their assets with a fine amount of protection. You never want to place an asset that's out in the open, in the public, because once it's out in the open, then that means anybody could snatch it up. You always want to remain private. So moving on, have you ever dealt with chicks that's bitter because you turned them down? I know King Ezra had a few that was blowing up his phone the other time I was with him, But I mean, have you ever had any chicks that were just bitter, like just dealing with it? And then we're gonna move on to Ezra real quick. But Shimshon,
Yeah,
let's start with you first, bro.
yeah. Dealing with the music industry and
Yeah.
everything we go through as artists in the music industry. You know, that's several times during shows, video shoots, photo shoots, interviews, and everything like that, where a woman will try to get your attention. And they will be bitter because you turned them down. It's not no disrespect to them, but they just don't understand that everybody that they meet that's artists are not trying to fuck you. You see what I'm saying?
They get them every day.
Right. They don't want nothing from you. How you doing? Oh, I like your outfit. That's nice. And let that be that. They're pushing themselves on certain people to achieve their goal as to why they even there. You see what I'm saying? No, it's a lot where you would have to decline the woman's advance because that's exactly what it is. These people don't know that I was married at one point in time, and then I'm actually married at the time that they talking to them. You see what I'm saying? The experiences that they experience are not always what you're going to experience when you go out and seek after these different guys that's in the entertainment field. You know what I'm saying? By me being an entertainer, you know, I have a lot of women that want to have my undivided attention, but they don't understand my ambition. My ambition supersedes my carnal feelings of flesh. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing that please me other than success right now.
Yeah.
So driven on success right now to the point where if you're not as successful or heading to being as successful as I am, that's not a turn on to me.
Yeah, because there's a time for business, and then there's a time for having fun. But we're more business minded than ever. But you know, with that being said, King Ezra, we on you next, man. Like, what's your way of dealing with a relationship that's unresolvable and dealing with some of these chicks out here that's real bitter about successful men?
Well, I look at it like bitterness is like cancer. It eats all through the marrows of the bone, and it destroys the whole molecular structure of the body. And so I look at it like it's a matrix of so many diverse relationships in the world. And there are many women out here who wants the quick fix. You don't know where they come from. You don't know their background. You don't know their upbringing. But one thing I do know is that chaos comes with a lot of them. And so knowing that chaos comes with most women, you got to ask yourself, when you're building your ladder of success, you're climbing a ladder of success and you're trying to reach a certain pivotal point, that the best thing to do is to keep them away from you if possible. You hold the keys to your success. No one holds the keys to your success. And sometimes when I look at my personal opinion, I've been in bad relationships. Yeah. And it has derailed me from reaching my goals. I think had I not been in certain relationships that caused a delay in my achievement, my life, I probably would have been way ahead now. But it was experience. And from my experience, I'm able to share it with the world, to share it on your channel.
Yeah. Appreciate
I look at it as relationship come and go. Yeah. Right. But your goals don't come and go. They stick with you until you die. That's one thing I learned about it. You cannot be in a relationship and be in your vision at the same time. You have to have someone who aligns themselves along with what you're doing. Yeah. And if she's willing to say, hey, I'm not in it just for the short term. I'm just not in it for the fame and the fortune and all of that stuff. Let me come to the table with value. Let me come to the table with substance. Because at the end of the day, who wants to be with a woman who's empty? who has nothing to bring to the table. I'm
But
sorry.
trouble. Yeah,
I'm
some
not
of them they
here.
do that.
I'm not here to try to talk down on women, because this is not the channel to
Yeah,
do that.
this definitely ain't the
But this,
channel. We up here to uplift the women that support our men. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's what it's all about. We support one another.
I'm speaking about, if you that type of woman who wear those type of shoes, then that's on you. You have to live with and look in the mirror of what you don't bring to the table, because we are successful men already. We are successful kings already. We don't need to go to the media to say, hey, we don't have to broadcast what we're doing in the background. It's no one else's business. If we decided to share with someone who's significant, fine. But then two, we also have to flip the coin and say, okay, I'm gonna let you come to me so far, because I still have other doors I need to close. I still have other things I need to achieve. I still have other things that I may not even thought of yet, but if it come across my desk, I may consider it. So having someone to come in your life, she has to be a woman of value. But if she's coming with bitterness, if she's coming with unforgiveness and unresolved issue, that's cancer. That's waiting to
Exactly.
destroy a man's life. Go ahead, King.
Exactly. So let me ask you a question. How has businesses affected the both of y'all growing up? I'm gonna start with King Shimshon first, and then I'm gonna go on to King Ezra. What's up, bro? All right.
All right. As far as business goes,
Yeah.
um, growing up on the west side of Chicago, we had a element of Chocolate City. It was all Black businesses on the west side of Chicago. That's all I can remember. Our mailman was Black. Our grocer was Black. Our deli man was Black. The librarian was Black. That's all we knew. You see what I'm saying? But as I was getting older, I started to notice that we was losing a lot of our businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand why at the time. I'm a young guy. I don't know why. You see what I'm saying? I just know that the corner store is not there anymore, or the guy who owned the corner store is not there anymore. The guy that owned the corner store, the candy store, he's not there anymore. You see what I'm saying? We had a skating rink on the west side. It's no longer there. You see what I'm saying? So with me understanding as I was getting older why the businesses was leaving, it was in me that wanted to see that again in our community.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of businesses in the community led me to be a businessman.
Yeah.
Achieve the things for my community that I'm seeking to achieve now, to replace these things in our community, because the community was never the same.
I mean, let me ask you a question. So you said that a lot of the businesses that were like mom and pop owned, the most important businesses that we have to put our investments in, that we deal with on a daily basis, that we channel our investments in and expect something back to give to the neighborhood. You're saying that a majority of them now are gone due to like what, mass marketing or companies that are just so industry that it basically cuts out on everything, and there's just a lackluster of businesses out there?
Well, it's hard to explain that. We can go with gentrification for one. The neighborhood being gentrified with other ethnic race, other ethnic backgrounds coming into the neighborhood and purchasing the businesses, and our business owners, our mom and pop stores, see a way out of the neighborhood due to the condition that the neighborhood is being ran into. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of the businesses, as far as the real big commercial establishments that was out here in our neighborhood, they chose to let their businesses go under for whatever reasons that they felt. I couldn't explain that. But what I can explain is that a lot of the businesses that's still here in the neighborhood are thriving, but they do not have any community togetherness or unity to assist, assist in maintaining their integrity as far as business owners inside the neighborhood. So it's a real tough fight out here.
Yeah, I think that the community dollars are definitely powerful in any community.
Most definitely.
Yep. King Ezra, what's your take on that?
What was the question again, King?
The
Got a
question
call
was,
coming.
no
Go
problem.
ahead. Hold on,
Tell
let
them,
me.
tell them people stop hounding you for the gold and silver, bro. They already know what time it
Yeah,
is.
I know, right? It's crazy. This phone, I tell you, it has a mind of its own. I tell you, it's something else. Give me 1 second. Excuse
All
me.
right, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, is that, give me 1 second.
All right. All right. All right. So I mean, what's your
Okay, so
uh-huh.
what was your question again, King Mike?
Yeah, well, I was saying about the investments and stuff like that. What was your idea on different investments and everything like that? Like, what was your ideas on that? Like, you have a lot of money and you have a lot of people that is making the investment moves, but they're not putting it out there in the community. Like, what's your idea out there on the community, King?
Well, I look at it like this, that um, when I was growing up, in my early 20s and stuff, the community was thriving, the city was thriving. The Black community was really thriving at the time. Now, when I see it now, it's something is very strange and odd about it, because I'm like, where the gas stations that was in my community? Where the barbershops, that's in my community? Where are all the pop-up, independent uh, mechanics who would just come to your house at any given time because they had a mobile, what I'm saying, business they ran, and wherever you are, they come and fix, change a tire or whatever. Um, there has been a big change in companies now that has taken away from the Black community as a whole, and have now, they seize the opportunity to say, okay, well, we know that they can do these things, so let us take away from them and build something around what they have, and then bring it to them as if they was the one who thought about it first.
That's facts. That's facts all day. Now,
Because if you look at hotels, if you look at hotel chains, most of the salons, parlors, beauty parlors, nail parlors, you name it, massage parlors, they all would stem from the African American community. Well, I'm going to kind of like put that aside for a minute, because the reason why I say that, because we as American nationals or private citizens really have been putting forth for hundreds of years, showing our skills in so many diverse industries. From we're good in architect, we're good in mining, we're good in drilling, we're good in fishing, we're good in in the professional realm. When we talked about medical, we're good in sports, we're good in entertainment. So what they have done is they actually said, we're the ones, are the originators of all of this. So now the community have taken their business. Now the people in the community have taken their business out of the community and have taken it and go far. Like nowadays, you have to drive far to go to a good place to eat now. And most of the places now you really want to sit and dine, it's like 15, 20 miles away from home, from where you live.
And somebody else.
When he go ahead, Shimshon.
I was saying in somebody else's neighborhood now.
oh,
That's
Yeah,
not,
true,
now,
true.
yeah, exactly. It's in someone else's neighborhood, and they're making all of the money while we're over here, like looking at each other, like, what are you gonna do with your life? What business? Well, I have a business, but it's not thriving because we have been taking so long for years, we have been taking the resources that we hard-earned American nationals, and then we've taken those resources, those funds, and have been taking it and giving it to another race that don't even like us. So we the one on the back end, or let me say front end, been suffering for the most. Go ahead, King.
I think a majority of the time when it comes down to investments, for the same pair of Nikes or Air Jordans that you had, you could have invested in basically going overseas and talk to the actual distributor or dealer that is overseas to come down and invest and send some of those down to where you have it or where you want to invest it at to put into your own community. But nobody ever thinks about that. They'll spend $1,000. They'll spend XYZ amount of money because the next person has it rather than bring that down to their own community and bring it down to a lower substandard price to make sure that everybody gets a pair, or that to that nature. And with that being said, let's move on to the court system. We already know the court system is unfair, right? Right, fellas? I think so. Yep, I agree.
Right.
What's your outlook on the court system when it comes down to families?
Ooh.
Start with Ezra first, but we're gonna do Shimshon. We're gonna do Ezra first. You already know. You already heard him last time. Go ahead, Ezra.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna try not to be long-winded on this. Okay. My opinion, and this is my personal opinion, but knowing what I've been through, the court system is rigged and is built off of feces. That's right, I'm gonna say it. It's built off of feces. Shit. That's what it's built off of. Lies and manipulation. The court system is nothing but it's a dead corpse. That's all it is. And I want to say this, but I want to be careful in saying this for the, while we're on the call. The court system is like a dead end. You drive a car, and then it says it's a dead end 5 miles ahead. And the person realized that, oh, okay, it's a dead end. Well, let me just want to see what's down there. And they say it's a dead end when you get there 2 miles before you get to the dead end. Warning, 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 make a right. But some people don't want to make a right because they want to know what's straight ahead. And so the court system is like a dead end road. People don't want to do right. People don't want to go right. They want to see, okay, I'll make a right later, but let me see what's ahead. And when they find themselves in that situation, when you reach a dead end, what do you have to do? You have to go all the way back from which you come from just to get to your destination. But because you're so nosy, because you want to know what's at the end of the dead end, there's nothing there. That's why they call it a dead end. And so the court system to me is an example of a dead end road. There's no benefits. Everything is closed off. You can't go nowhere. You don't know who's there at the dead end or what is there. It can be a hyena there. It could be a lion there. It can be someone down there at the dead end ready to rob you and murder you. So at the end of the day, the court system is the same thing. And we need to avoid the court system because that's all it is. Nothing but feces and dead end. You're not going to get nowhere. If you go that way, you may end up with something that you'll never get rid of.
I agree.
I want to encourage everyone on the call to always remember that the court system has no benefits. The court system is everything that's on black and white, that's on the piece of paper that we call, black and white, and what we write on is the court, not the place where you go. That is not the court. That is just a room where people meet to discuss civil matters or whatever. But the court system itself is destructive, is dangerous, is the dead end. It has no benefits. All they are there to do is to suck up. They're nothing but leeches. Most of the judges, most of the lawyers, Most of the so-called judges, the so-called lawyers, the clerk of the court, all of them, most of them are nothing but leeches that's trying to suck the very life out of you. You know what the leeches does? They suck the blood out of your body. They want nutrients from you.
That's definitely the truth.
That is true.
Hold on. Yeah. Damn. His damn mic cut out on him.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, but I don't cut no corner because I know what the so-called Kabuki Theory have done to me. Yeah. And it has literally almost destroyed my existence. But I thank God that I survived it. And we, as teams, we will continue to survive it.
Learning.
I just had to say it because when I go there, I have to say what's on my mind, what's on my heart, because no one has walked in my shoes. No one has experienced the pain, the disappointment, and the alienation that these so-called corporate cockroaches who works behind the scene as actors pretending to be something that they're not.
Respectful.
And I'm sorry.
Respectfully, let me remind everyone on this channel, we're keeping it polite. We're not here to attack anybody. We're not here to cause any trouble. We're here to just basically let people know the truth and what it is. Judges are fiduciaries. Fiduciaries are public servants. The public servants are here to serve us. We're not there to serve them. So let's keep and remind them that anytime they come out of line, that anytime they try to get out of place, that we, the people, have to let them know that some of the things that they're doing will create malfeasance in office. That's also a felony, by the way, just to keep everybody in check and to let everybody know anytime a trustee, also known as a public servant, here to serve the public, that's the oath that they took when taking the oath of office in their robes. Moving on forward, we're going to discuss that with Kim Shimshon as far as what's going on in the court system. Like, what's your take on the court system of today, especially in these times during the pandemic, man? I gotta hear this.
My take on the court system is, again, back into the investment again. Okay. When dealing with the court system, and I'm gonna just generalize this because I feel it's a general statement. Right. When dealing with the court system, you also have to know many things in the aspect of law, many things in the aspect of court procedure, many aspects in the ways, in the jargon that they use as far as legalese. Legalese meaning their language. The thing that they try to do to us in the court system is to act on our fear, because no melanated being wants to be inside of a court system that's predominantly ruled by the other shade of skin. That's an automatic no-go. So we always in a position where we're defending ourselves inside the court. That doesn't go well at no time. The court system also try to feed on melanated indigenous ignorance, because we don't have the knowledge to handle ourselves in court or to address certain matters in court properly. So the court is always going to be one-sided with us not having the proper knowledge and intel it takes to combat the situation with these people inside of the court systems. A lot of us come from different areas and backgrounds of westernized civilization as far as what they would deem criminal life. You see what I'm saying? The statement that they always use, we are innocent until proven guilty, that doesn't formulate as a truth inside the court system. You are guilty until proven innocent. That's why there's a magistrate, judge, and a jury. You're guilty. They will tell you you're innocent until proven guilty, so you can sit there and be comfortable with what they finna do to you. But you're also on defense. There is no offense when you're in court. You're automatically going to defend yourself because you're there, you're already uncomfortable, and you feel like you have been harmed or injured in some kind of way because you now have to explain yourself to them. Again, they will feed on your ignorance because we are not lawyers. We don't practice to be lawyers or anything like that. For those that do, they fare a little bit better in the court system than others that normally don't live that kind of life or have no knowledge of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So The courts are going to be, and to my opinion, always one-sided with the way that they rule on the certain things that they rule on, because we don't live that kind of life to know those things. At one point in time in antiquity in America, it was a staple to learn legal law. But growing up and over the centuries of time, dealing with what they would call Black America, melanated indigenous, we don't have the knowledge it takes to combat our situations inside the courthouses, because that's not the life that we was hewn to live. You see what I'm saying? If we had the educational system set up to the point where that would be a curriculum inside of our grammar schools of learning actual law, then things would be a little bit different as far as even the way we react to certain things, as far as the public servants that's out here patrolling our streets, they're so-called peace officers.
And they're also public service too, to my understanding.
Also public servants, but they also officers. They also the security guards of the state construct, the corporation. You see what I'm saying? So if they deem you to not be worthy of a fair trial, that's exactly what it's going to look like when you get there.
But to my understanding, it when they say that a law has been broken, they're not referring to a law have you injured or messed up somebody's property, because that's what people are really supposed to go by. Unless they injured someone, unless they mess up somebody's property, then there really is no crime. So all of that, as far as you that's trying to defend yourself, they're not referring to you. They're referring to the corporate side of you. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. They're always going to refer to you as the corporate side of you, which is the dead entity, because in their eyes, you are not a living being. You're not a real man.
Yeah.
You are a construct. The only way that they can do business with another corporation is being another corporation. That's the only way. So they have to create a way where they can contract with you and put these stipulations, laws, policies, and statutes in place to even address you, because no dead thing can address a living thing.
Furthermore, let me just say this too. For everybody that's out there, whenever you're facing like a court case, according to the Sixth Amendment, that other person or individual that's there, they have to be there to prove themselves to being injured, and not just the prosecutor. If it's just the prosecutor, then there really is a no-go. That's just the way that it is. But moving on,
I would like to add to that, to what King Shimshon was saying. At the end of the day, we have a higher court, and that's and our rights and everything comes from God. Our God-given rights comes from God, and He holds everything in the palm of His hand. Those who are supposed to serve us don't have jurisdiction over a living man, because a living man has another living man does not have rights or jurisdiction or authority or power or permission to take charge of another man's lifestyle or being. So we have to understand that you are innocent as long as you didn't cause damage to someone's property, and as long as you didn't cause damage and harm to an individual. Outside of that, no corporation and the public servants should have no say-so in your personal affairs.
Not only that,
exactly, all of the other things that they bring to your forefront or to the dead corpse, that's nothing but shit that needs to be dumped out in the field somewhere. Because at the end of the day, we as a living man, we put them in office. We put them in position. They didn't put themselves in there. We are taxpayers, so we put them there. You understand what I'm saying? But they try to make it seem like we serve them. We supposed to be subservient to them. No, they are the ones who should be serving the community, serving the people who have been damaged, who have been harmed. But when they see a black brother or a melanated brother, who is trying to achieve, some things in this world, oftentimes we are met with opposition. Oftentimes we are met with the courts, because they feel that if we mount up to be all of that and more, which of course over the centuries of time we've been there, we've done it before many times. What happens is the courts was created to downplay the psyche of a man's mind, to downplay his abilities, to downplay his strength, to downplay everything, the man possessed. So the courts was created to say, okay, let's capitalize on this man. Let's capitalize on the melanin men and women. And let's bring them in under our jurisdiction and control them and control their children and control their lives. So what we have to do now as men, we have to take back ownership, things that belongs to us. We have to take back our God-given rights and live in those God-given rights. We let them know, through contract, hey, black and white, you cannot have my children anymore. You cannot, there's certain things you are not allowed to do to me and my offspring. And so we're living in a time now that we have to let them know, we put y'all there and we can damn sure bring you guys out.
That panel. Absolutely. We definitely sure they'll take you off that damn panel. If you ain't doing your job that you swore in to do. And that's another thing too. Let me fill everybody in on this. If you have to go to court for any reason, all right, unless they're dragging you in there, you always let them know, is this hearing on the record? Oh, well, we don't know. Is this matter here on the record? You ask them 3 times. Is this a recorded proceeding? Is this matter here on the record? Because they know if it's not on the record, then it's a private contract that they're trying to get with you. So make sure you let them know that you never, ever, and I mean ever, raise your hand in those courts. When you're swearing into them. And remember, in the Bible, they say only heathens swear. So you never, ever raise your hand and swear on the Bible. It's like an oxymoron. It's like, okay, are you willing to swear in? But they don't even say who you're swearing into. So be very cautious of that. Okay.
Correct.
That's what you basically want to do. And I'm letting everybody know that out there. And if you haven't noticed, the courts, they look like, if you go to the courthouse and you're looking at the courthouse itself, it looks like a ship. It looks like a ship. The flags are in the front. You got the pirates that at the front that are guarding the captain, and each and every one of those bay doors is what you got forward to look to. So you always want to make sure that you keep that in check. But moving forward, there are trustees. They are our public servants. We have to treat them with respect, but let them know that we're not going to take any disrespect as well. You're coming in as a man, handling your own affairs. My best advice to everyone as of right now is to try to keep all of your private affairs private. You had kids in private, you're doing business in private, keep it in private, because if it's in the public, then everyone and anyone is going to try to have their so-called 2 cents in on the situation.
That's
right.
That's correct.
Yeah, but moving on, I just want to know, what's going on. And let me say this too. How's everybody's status? Like everybody's status. I know everybody wants to change their status. Ezra changed his status. I've changed my status. Shimshon's changed his status. What's everybody's idea on status? And then we're gonna move on to the kids next.
It's not even an idea. It's not even an opinion. The thing about status is this: knowledge. It goes back to knowledge again. It's going to always go back to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. When you know who you are and you understand who you are and you are obtaining more wisdom as to who you are, you know where you stand. If you don't know where you stand, you're always going to be subject under somebody else who's in rulership and jurisdiction that you don't even know is over you. Once you understand who you are and where you stand, you can be able to operate in the field of life the way you're supposed to be operating within nature. We are the kings. We are the kings placed here on this earth to make sure that we do have a future for our offspring. That's why we was ordained as men. We came from our mother's womb as men, as kings, sent here to have dominion over the land, subdue the land, and be fruitful and multiply within the land. And that's basically where it is. I mean, you have to understand where you stand, how you stand, and even why you stand. You have to know above, below, the size, enter, outer. You have to know it all. You have to know who you are. Who are you? You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Most definitely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We have a lost sheep out here on the field.
A lot of damn sheep.
They following what everybody else is doing. They going where everybody else is going. They getting the results that everybody else is getting.
You know?
Are you dying? You probably are.
Everybody that
cliff. They jumping off.
Exactly. I look at it like this. From the moment that they cut that umbilical cord, you're already dying. Are you gonna die a slave, or are you gonna die living free, living your life? That's what I always say.
Well, my parents come from the civil rights movement. I'm from the west side of Chicago. Even that statement alone would tell you where I stand with me being on this call.
Whew.
I will keep my eyes on the prize. Oh Lord, the whole way, without wavering, without faltering. I will stand here with my faith in the Lord that he placed me here for this exact reason, to be here explaining these things and living out these things, witnessing scripture play out live.
Exactly.
With the rest of my kings and my queens.
Damn right. That's right. Yo,
Shalom.
Ezra. Shalom. Ezra, you next, homie. What's good? Say your piece, bro.
Well, you know, when it comes to status, I look at, the example of being, free to be yourself, because status, again, I go back to what I was saying before. It's all about how you perceive yourself and where you think, how you want your life to be in the next, 5, 10 years from now. But status has to be, it has to be, because I want to be careful in saying what I'm saying. Many people have status, but they have no character with it. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all of the mansions, all of the cars and everything. That's a form of status or a type of status. I look at status as knowing who you are as a man. Yeah. Knowing your responsibility, knowing, your worth, your self-worth. It's all about self-worth. It's all about how you conduct business. It's all about how you conduct business with others. Worth ethics. Because you have a lot of people that have a lot of money. There are millionaires and billionaires on the earth, but they're destroying the earth. Yeah, I don't give a flip on the status. I don't care about, and I ain't saying no names, but those who out to depopulate our country. I don't care what status they are. We have many government officials who have different rankings and statuses. I don't give a flip about their status if they have no accountability of what they're doing to the human race.
That's factual.
I'm just going to keep it 100. I don't like negative status. Give me the positive status. Okay? Show me the men and the women who have good status. That's who I want to be around.
Exactly.
That's who I want to invest in. That is who I want to build a business relationship with, those kind of people.
Exactly.
But the ones who degrade, who put down, who cast down, who put innocent fathers and mothers in prison for no reason at all, and they call themselves a judge. I don't want that. I don't care about your status, judge. I don't care about your status, you prosecuting attorney. Get the hell away from me. So status means nothing to me. If it's not coming with a good vibe, I don't care nothing about your status.
That's
It's
true.
all about a person's character.
Yeah.
I yield.
Me personally, my idea on the whole status plane is, you know, you are who you are, but don't act as if you're not. Try to be positive. A lot of people think just because I'm a judge, just because I'm this, just because I'm that, I'm big shit. At the end of the day, the same way you went up them same steps is the same way you can fall on your ass. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, when you're doing certain things like that, the people, what a lot of people don't realize that do that shit to innocent people, or the people that don't have the ability to fight back, God sees all that shit, fam. And there's that one thing that no one could ever escape. It's what you put in that investment, and it's called karma. The same shit that you do to people, it's the same shit that you'll get back. You may not get it right away, but when you get it, oh boy, you're gonna get it. Because the Most High don't miss a thing. He don't miss a thing. He like, oh, let's see who's naughty or nice. Yeah, that one fucked up. They had it coming. Boom.
Hands.
Exactly. By your ass, by the wedgie. You know what I'm saying? They gotta feel it. They feel the light. You know what I'm saying? Just coming up at them. But exactly. Some people need to hold their ground, man, and stop bullshitting. You know, for every reaction, for every action is an equal and opposite reaction. Let me just say that.
Right.
But
right.
I'm gonna say this though.
I want to say this right quick though, King Mike, and I'm so glad that you have King Shimshon on the phone. I mean, on the Zoom meeting tonight, because I respect this man. I respect this king a lot, and
Shalom.
I respect all of the kings, you know, because he comes with so much knowledge that he brings to the table. You know, a lot of the 100 kings and 100 queens don't realize that this king right here, he is truly a king. And I'm not saying that to give him accolades and pat him on the back and take him out to a steakhouse and treat him real good and introduce him to all of the fine women. You know, but this man right here, this man amongst the other kings that I you know contend with all the time. I respect his, and I'm so glad that he's on this line because he shares so much information, mind-boggling.
No
he really does. And so to have him on the call out of his busy schedule, you know, he could be in Italy right now. He can, I don't know where he at. He probably be in France right now.
Last time I heard when I called him, he was in Germany and shit. All the white chicks he was partying up with and shit.
But this man right here, I want all of the YouTubers out there to know, you know, and I'm not just saying this just to be, you know, spinning air and oxygen and all of that. This man right here, King Ezra, you want to purchase his music. You want to get up on his website. You want to know what this man has to bring to the table. He offers so much, and I'm glad to know him personally.
Me too.
Okay.
Gratitude.
And I just had to say that, man, you deserve it, King Shimshon. You've been through a lot, man, and you know, we're both going to the top. We're all going to the top together.
Absolutely.
And this is an awesome experience, you know, just to have you on the line. Anytime you're on the line, I want to be, you know, the Zoom meeting.
See, I told you.
Go ahead, King Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, I told you, Ezra, it's gonna be a good show, man. But I'm about to cut this short, but I'm gonna get into it maybe like 2 more minutes. When dealing with having kids, right? I know your kid looks up to you, King Ezra. You're already invested in him. Shimshon, y'all already invested. What's the big investments that you have done for your offspring?
The biggest investments that I've done for my offspring is to invest in their future.
Exactly.
Everything that I do, even before they was born, because that's the reason I married my wife. You see what I'm saying? Is to produce my offspring and be fruitful with the gifts of my loins. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. It's investing in their future, man. It's investing in their education. It's investing in generational wealth. It's investing in Everything as far as what I have done in my life, as far as investing in me, everything that I do now is solely based on their future when they are to become men. It's a lot of men in my life that has influenced me to be who I am today. But it was also the negative effect of a lot of men not being in my life at the time to invest in me as far as spiritual wise or intelligence wise or just basic wisdom. You know what I'm saying? We missing a lot of that in our neighborhoods as far as a lot of men with the proper wisdom and guidance to keep us out of trouble or to guide us to where we actually need to be. You see what I'm saying? Or not even need to be, to explore all avenues and options. We didn't have a lot of the men in our neighborhood exploring all of their options, that we have a breadcrumb trail to follow their footsteps. You know, the footsteps that come from out of the inner city neighborhoods of what road leads down. You see what I'm saying? We have an over that, but we don't have an overabundance of intelligent achievers. See what I'm saying? We got a lot of college professors that's melanated. We got a lot of school teachers, elementary level, melanated. You see what I'm saying? But as far as in our neighborhood, because I only know of a few of my school teachers that stayed in our neighborhood, and they was the coolest school teachers, the most influential school teachers, because we resonated with them. You see what I'm saying? But for the ones that didn't come from our neighborhood, that lived the Huxtable lives and everything like that, where we came from, that was hard to access. That was not easily attainable. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, we wanted what they had, and we would say, I would say that in my opinion, I coveted what they had, but then to not be able to achieve it, that's what had myself want to invest in my offspring's future the way that I am now, even more so than ever now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I wish I would have known what I know now before I even got married or started having offspring, because I would be able to invest in them a lot more than I do now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to offspring, it's never too late to invest in your babies. It's never too late to build a relationship with them if you're away from them. If you have your offspring with you and you are raising your babies, make sure you raise them to the best of your ability and teach them all things in the aspect of righteousness. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what we need going forward. We're going to need more kings. We're going to need more queens. We don't need no more sheep. We don't need no more sleepwalkers. You see what I'm saying? We need forward thinkers, innovators, doers. We try not to do nothing. We do everything.
Exactly. But let's move on to Ezra. That's some good shit though, King. I'm gonna remember that. Ezra, you up, bro, before we cut this line.
Yeah, what was the question? Because he got me going somewhere.
Now the question is, have you, since you learned the process and learning how everything's going along, what's your thoughts on investing in your future as far as your offspring, bro? And have you invested in your future in the offspring?
Yeah, well, as far as investing in the future of my offspring, the minute that came out of my ex-womb, I was already planning ahead. You know, even while during the time she was conceived, it was all about my offspring, because whatever our mother and fathers and our grandmothers, grandfathers, and their and our great grandfathers, we have a great responsibility to close the gap of, the I'm gonna say this, the lack of term of engagement when it comes to wealth, because some of it was not, brought to us. We didn't know. We saw it on TV. We saw the elite enjoying themselves, but a lot of it, we had to learn all of these things as we grew, as we was growing, because our parents didn't know any better. So now that we are on this side now, we know more. We've experienced life. Now we see both spectrums. We see the rich and we see the poor, right?
Yeah.
So now I think where we are now, as far as our offspring is concerned, particularly my offspring, I have to do everything in my power You know, as long as I'm alive, I have to do everything in my power and connect with people like you guys to hope that my offspring will have a better future than I have, you
Yeah.
know, a better life than I have. Give them
Right.
something that I couldn't give myself. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, our goal and my goal is to leave them something that they can live by without being connected to the system, being in the system, you know. So basically, give them something that their children and children can enjoy from the fruits of my labor, our labor. Leave them something where they can say, we're part of the elite. And because at the end of the day, we know where we come from. We know where our parents come from. And it haven't been a bill of roses, but we can turn the tables now. And the
Exactly.
time is right now.
Exactly. I definitely agree with that. Myself, I'm an investor. I invested in my offspring. They will have other things that I didn't have, leaving them behind. Not only that, but the knowledge and the investments that I'm leaving to the side. And when they grow of age to being at the age of majority and not a minor, they will know how to operate in and out of the system privately, and they will know what the public can do. So I think that it is in everyone's best interest to invest not only in themselves instead of another person's investment. Invest in your offspring most of all, because our offspring are our future. They carry our bloodline. When you want to go ahead and leave something behind, you leave something behind for them, in a trust. You leave something behind for them in that way. So that way it could never be touched by the public. It's protected. Nobody could ever infiltrate it or looking in something to take away that we earn, because that's how we, have our generational wealth. Every other corporation that's out there right now, they have trusts set aside. They have their own public and private things set aside. They protect their own best interest so that way their offspring could get the fruits of their labor or whoever they're related to and set things aside. And when that being said, gentlemen, I just want to say it's a pleasure to have y'all here. Some fucking millionaires and shit. King Ezra, it's wonderful again to always have you on our show, man. I'll be able to have you on here next time, bro. I appreciate it. You overseas and shit. I salute you. King Shimshon, you stay doing your thing, bro. You staying underneath the radar, making your money. I heard y'all got some coins going on and shit. I'm definitely in on that too. I'm hoping to definitely get up in there. I know I'm in there like swimwear though, since y'all gave me a couple of good pointers.
Whenever you want me on, man, whenever you want to talk to me and just pick my brain about anything, man, my channel is always open. And
definitely.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that stake, man. We got a date.
King Mike. King
Mike.
Up? Yeah, this man right here. Yeah, everyone else got to get in line. But me and you are first. So, but everybody else,
they got to get in line to get that. They got to get in line to get that money for them coins, bro. When they get the money in line for them coins, thinking of different business practices, traveling, most of all, traveling and getting connected with the right people, because there are right businesses out there. You just got to find them. You got to find them and get in contact with the right people. So with that being said, our next guest, hopefully, King Stevion, he's gonna be another guest on our show. We hope to have him there. We would have had 2 other members coming on, but they had some stuff they had to take care of because they're always busy, man. Business always is in there. I'm sorry, what, King?
I say I'm definitely tuning into that.
Oh yeah. Well, that being said, we don't have an issue with dealing with women. We just have an issue of dealing with people that don't conduct themselves as women. The people that are not sound of mind, the sleepwalkers. They're not really up to par. These people you got to just stay away from. There's nothing you can really do with them. Hopefully, they'll wake up and see the truth for what it is, and they will operate themselves accordingly. I want to say when it comes down to relationships, I say that, to each one, teach one. If you know that relationship isn't working out, just move on. You'll eventually find somebody who's right for you, right. And that's it. You definitely
equally yoked, man. Everybody is not.
Exactly. Everybody's not equally yoked, just like King Shimshon said and King Ezra said. So we're gonna get to our final words. Start with King Ezra. What you got to say, bro, before we cut out?
Thank you for having me on this call, King Mike. I believe that this message is going to reach the masses. I want everyone to know is know your self-worth. Know what is you were born to do, you know, and be about doing it, and make it do what it do. Connect with positive-minded men and women that's around you, you know, and get with them and let them, whatever you're weak in your vision, if you're missing something, it's okay to ask for advice. It's okay to seek for advice. I didn't say legal advice. I said advice. There's a difference, you know, and stay positive, you know, keep the mind, keep the vibration going, keep your mind, you know, running, you know, whatever ideas that the Most High gives to you, you know, run with it. You can't share your ideas with everyone, but you can only share with those who you trust. And this is what this is all about. We're operating in trust, and I'm enjoying it. Thank you so much, King Mike.
Thank you, King Ezra. You know, we always say, man, the schemes collide when the dreams collide. So if you know you got somebody negative that's around your ass, that's trying to pull you down or don't see your ideas and your dreams merging with theirs to hopefully both of y'all could build something, just stop dealing with them, man. You never want to be stagnant. Never want to be. Exactly. Facts all day. Kim Shimshon, final words, bro.
Study and show thyself approved in all aspects of life. We are in the information age now. So, and we've been in the information age for quite a while now. Everything is at our fingertips right now. So learn everything you can, invest in yourself, because you are your major investment. You are your major investment. You are the biggest investment there ever was on the planet as an individual. You are the biggest investment. So if you're not investing in yourself, any investment that you make from there is automatically, well, probably 9 times out of 10 is going to fall flat. Okay. So knowledge is power. Study and show yourself approved in all aspects of life. And those are the final words I will leave our people. Study and show thyself approved.
Exactly. No fucking doubt, man. But yo, I just want to say, all the YouTubers, if you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel, give a like. Man, we out here, man. We coming out. We're gonna let everybody know what it really is out here in the field, man. We're over here in the battlefield. You know, the weapons are the minds that are in war. You know what I'm saying? That's the true weapon. Rather than picking up a gun, pick up a book. Rather than picking up this, pick up some knowledge, man, because it'll never steer you wrong, knowing the truth and knowing what's really going on in the world. And with that being said, I want to say, YouTube, I love y'all. To my family, I love y'all. To my 100 kings and queens, I love y'all. Never stop doing what you're doing. To my investors, I love y'all. Brother Ezra, brother Shimshon, we get it in, bro. No matter what, day and night, we on this knowledge, man. Everybody else that's in 100 kings and 100 queens, we love y'all, man. We doing this for y'all, man. We coming up in the world. And I just want to say, peace out.
Shalom, King. Thank you for having me.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yes, sir.
Salute.